Welcome as we arrive on our 7-day cruise to Juneau, Alaska's stunning capital city and your gateway to adventure. Today we're exploring Juneau's rich history, breathtaking landscapes, and incredible wildlife, and fit in as much as we can in one day in Juneau. From exploring the charm of the downtown and waterfront to exploring the natural wonders such as Mendenhall Glacier and whale watching. Follow along as we explore the perfect day in the port of Juneau. Already we just disembarked and are now in the capital of Alaska, Juneau. We are meeting our tour at 2 p.m. for whale watching. We're just disembarked from the ship in our first port of call of Juneau, Alaska, the capital of Alaska. I'm so excited to finally get here. I've met people from Juneau before, and I know it's typically difficult to get to, but on the cruise ship it makes it super easy. We pull straight into port. It's literally right behind us. We just have to walk up this ramp and we are there. And then we're going to go whale watching today. I'm really hoping we get to see some whales close up, but for now we're gonna head to the main part of the city and then enjoy Juneau. As we just disembarked from the boat and now we're here in Juneau. As soon as you arrive, you'll see like Tracy's Crab Shack and a main street like this along the waterfront where there's a bunch of different shops. So the first place we're heading to is Heritage Coffee, and then I'm gonna run up to see the Alaska State Capitol building before it closes at 5 p.m. They do walking tours of it guided, but there's also a self-guided portion you can just walk inside and see, which is all the time I have right now. We have a short time period till our whale watch adventure, so for now we're trying to make do with what we can do. One thing I'm noticing about Juneau is they actually have all these covered walkways, and I think it's because it rains more in Juneau than probably most of the US. And it's cold rain too, so I'm glad they thought of this in advance. Check this out. Now just heading to see the Capitol building, which is at the top of this hill. That's the legislative building. And I think we take a left and we'll see the Capitol. Oh yeah, here we are at the Alaska State Capitol. Here is the Alaska State Capitol building. Juneau is the largest capital city in the United States at 3,255 square miles, but that's not all land. It's actually 928 square miles of ice cap and 704 square miles of water. It is big, and we're not obviously gonna see it all in just one port day in Juneau, but this will give me a taste, so I probably will come back again to Juneau. But for now, let's go see if we can go inside the Capitol building and check it out. All right, so just entered the Alaska Capitol building and heading to the second floor. Everything is open and they're super nice here. Yeah, so you can come to the second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor, sixth floor. It's all open to the public. They do have some guided tours, but because I'm here on an off time, yeah, I'm just gonna walk around. But you can come here and see where the legislature meets for Alaska. This is so cool. They have like historic portraits, Alaska Native woman. They have an informative video you can watch, and actually it showed you that it was open, the building, in 1931, and this is now the Senate hearing room, but it originally was in a smaller room where only 8 senators originally represented the state of Alaska when it originally opened this building. Super cool. On the third floor, you find the office of the governor here. And yeah, in the Hall of Governors. Alrighty, so just finished touring the Alaska State Capitol building. That was definitely interesting, and the people there were friendly at the front desk. Now meeting my mom at the Heritage Coffee Roasters, and then we will be meeting Alaska Tales for a epic adventure of whale watching and going to Mendenhall Glacier. Let's go, we definitely don't want to miss that. Alrighty guys, we finally found our tour. It actually is so conveniently located right outside where we got off the ship. It's with Alaska Tales. I booked it through Get Your Guide. I'm gonna link it down below, but you can definitely do tours on your own or with the ship. We're doing a bit of both and mix up. Wow, it's starting to rain out of nowhere, but we're meeting the tour at 2, and then it's a 4.5-hour tour where we see Mendenhall Glacier as well as do a whale watch cruise. While we waited to leave, we actually saw a bald eagle from the tent. All right, now about to board. What do we do first? Do we go to the glacier first or the...
Go to the glacier first. I'm gonna give like a little speech rundown and then when he gets on the bus, so I'll answer. Benjamin.
Hi, I'm Benjamin.
You're ahead of me, I was gonna ask that next, actually. So he's gonna be your tour operator today. That means that he's gonna be taking you where you need to go. It is just about 2 o'clock and we're gonna roll you out in a moment. Your first stop is gonna be the Mendenhall Glacier. It takes about half an hour to get there. You've got a visitor center to check out and some trails to explore. But you got an hour at the glacier, so your pickup time, you want to be back in the same spot the bus dropped you off at to be picked up by it at 3:30. What time?
3:30.
You don't want to miss that because then this bus is going to take you over to Statter Harbor for a 2-hour whale watching tour and then back here at the end of your day.
Which is Gold Creek.
Oh.
And Gold Creek is where Chief Callion won on Richard Harrison and Joe Juneau to the discovery of gold. So that's where Juneau got its start. And once they found gold, of course, news of the discovery started traveling very far and very fast. People start flooding into Juneau, making Juneau a boomtown, and the gold rush is on.
As we drove, our guide gave us a lot of information from the plants that grow here to the animals we would see. Alrighty, so we just have about an hour here and we are here at the Mendenhall Glacier. There are 2 trails. One goes over a creek where you can see salmon running right now, possibly, and sometimes a bear, possibly. But yeah, we're here and there's another trail that goes towards like about a mile. It's more like a nature walk, he said. And we might not have a ton of time to do it, but there's a visitor center that you can spend 15 minutes like exploring some of the exhibits there that he said are worth a visit. But for now, let's see if we see any salmon. The visitor center via Steep Creek Trail. Alrighty, so right now we're on the Steep Creek Trail and you see salmon literally even swimming here beneath us, swimming upstream where they will leave their eggs. So on top of the scenic salmon trail you can go to, you can also take another scenic hike. It's 2 miles round trip, but I obviously don't have time for that. But I think there's a photo point you can take a photo with, and then from there, yeah. Oh, there's a Nugget Falls trail. You can see Nugget Falls. So as you can see, it is quite busy here, and yeah, but it is still beautiful. There's Nugget Falls right over my right shoulder, and then Mendenhall Glacier over here. It's crazy because when you look at a picture of Mendenhall Glacier 15 years ago, it has receded so much, but it is definitely beautiful to come here and see it while it lasts. That's why I definitely recommend doing like an Alaska cruise, getting to Alaska somehow, because otherwise, like, you don't know how much longer these glaciers will be here, and they are magnificent. Juneau is only reachable actually by boat or by seaplane or air, and it's because it's surrounded by ice fields, and that is one of the reasons why you can't drive there, which I found completely interesting, and one reason why I wanted to come visit Juneau, which actually happens to be the 3rd largest city in Alaska. So now I visited Anchorage, the 1st largest city, which is the economic capital of Alaska. I've seen Fairbanks, which is the northernmost city in the entire US and the 2nd largest city in Alaska. And now we're in Juneau, which is the capital and the largest capital in the US by land area. So definitely a unique place. Alaska is just so magnificent and needs to be on your bucket list. I'm just so glad I got to come here 2 summers in a row. Here they also have a visitor center, which is pretty nice here with some exhibits that you can learn all about Mendenhall Glacier, and there's also a informative video as well. It was time to hit the road to go to our second part of the adventure, whale watching.
You're with them. This is not an aquarium, all right? So we have a couple of rules and guidelines that we follow through it's a program called Whale Sense. We get certified and trained in it. Your basic rules. 1, we will not be getting closer than 100 yards to them today. I know that seems far on the water. It is a lot closer than you think. Our favorite whales are heading or kind of things that they could be doing, all right? So they are mammals just like us, which means they have to come to the surface to breathe. They've got 2 blowholes on the top of their head, each about the size of a baseball. When they surface, you're gonna see that blow spout. It's essentially a giant whale breath that comes out at 300 miles per hour. But you're gonna see that stack shoot up 10 to 15 feet.
The whale watching portion of the trip was about 2.5 hours, and we stopped at a few different points to view whales and learn all about how they identified them by their tails.
My head's going so loud, it sounds just like a party. Thoughts spin around like shadows they cast. I'm an overthinker, lost in my life. I'm always so
In the entire animal kingdom, and it is on a gentle giant like humpback. So it only takes 3 swipes of that tail to get that 25-30 ton body completely airborne.
Whoa.
It is also the greatest effect.
What is it? Oh. Mom, look up, it's waving. Aw.
Oh my goodness.
This is so cute.
I could just turn it on, like a switch in my brain, so I can finally breathe.
Whales we saw? Baltimore?
Voldemort is the one that's breaching, and he's the one that's showing that fluke.
Okay.
Islet is who's with him.
Okay.
But
I'm an
right there. Oh my God.
lost in my life.
This was one of the most epic whale watching journeys I've been on, and it was really interesting to learn about NOAA, as well as how they even helped free one of the whales earlier in the day that got caught in nets. But it was the end of our tour, and we were heading back to Juneau City Center, where we had just a bit of time to go explore the shops as well as grab a bite to eat before boarding the ship again. Alright, so after a successful whale watch adventure, in the beginning it was raining, and then now look at this, it's so beautiful here in Juneau. There's a long line at this Tracy's King Crab Shack, but the guide told us a few places that we can go check out, such as the hangar if you want to watch the float planes land, and then another place called Pelmini, where you can get some great Eastern European little dumplings. But this is so cool. Everywhere you go around, you can see these totem poles, which are beautiful. Oh wow, that boat's going fast. Oh, it's a float plane. Okay, but this is so cool, and we got such a beautiful weather right now. Some things you could also do after the excursion, because we're here longer, is go on the tramway all the way up there, or you could hike up there as well. As we passed the totem poles, there were plaques you could learn about the meaning of them to the Tlingit and Haida tribes. But if you have more time, you can also visit the Sealaska Heritage Institute and experience the traditional arts and storytelling during cultural events as well. So surprisingly enough, we stopped to get pelmeni, which is an Eastern European food. I had it when I was in Anchorage and I loved it so much, I decided when I saw it here, I need to get it. A nice snack, and then maybe head off and see what else we can find. But then it's like this indoor shopping mall area. Another place that they recommended, the hangar. Guys, we're at pelmeni. This place is super good. It's located right by the hangar bar, actually. And our guide told us about it. And I love pelmeni. It's like an Eastern European dumpling. Put it with sour cream, and there's meat inside. It's so good. One of my favorite snacks. Plus, it's $9, but it literally can fill you up for a meal. So good. So we decided to go to Jelly Donut right before they close, and I got this chocolate nutter butter on a brioche donut. It definitely looks good. They had a salmon donut, but I wasn't feeling too adventurous. So our last stop, we're gonna go into the Red Dog Saloon. There's a lot of shops you can go to. I just bought some gloves. But the Red Dog Saloon is actually the oldest business and first business that ever was in Juneau. Ever since the day when they started mining here, they had a tent with a bar in it. And it's now the Red Dog Saloon. And you can go find interesting antiques and things in it, like Wyatt Earp's pistol that he got drunk here and left it there. So we're just gonna go inside. I hear some live music. It might be interesting to see what a bar is like in Alaska, in Juneau. So sadly, it's time to say goodbye for now to Juneau. Honestly, the capital of Alaska has treated us well. We had a beautiful sunny day after it was raining, but that's the thing about Alaska. Everything can change in literally the flip of a switch. We had some great local food. We went and saw the whales, and now we are boarding the Euro Dam Holland America. This has just been such an epic experience, and I'm glad I got to share it with my mom, who's already ready to get back on the ship because it's become our home. But yeah, I'm excited. Let's go back on the ship now. After a long day exploring Juneau, it was time to enjoy the hot tub as we departed under the stars. I grabbed a pizza to go to my room to have an early night because the next morning we would be waking up in Glacier Bay National Park. Be sure to follow along on next week's adventure, and if you have any questions, as always, let me know in the comments, and give this video a thumbs up if it helped.